What is up, my family, my Motivate Me family? What's going on, y'all? Hopefully, y'all are having a wonderful Thursday. I'm having a great Thursday. So much closer to the weekend, but we stuck at home. Well, actually, some of us are stuck at home. Some of y'all are just living y'all best life. I know Florida right now. All of you guys are living your best life there. I'm in Washington State, and we're still under quarantine, but you can go on a nice drive if you like. So we have a special guest today. His name is Kerry Hartley. He's the CEO of his company, and he's an author. He has a book called the Fundamental Four, which is a motivational book, basically, motivating you and kind of like just going back to the basics on how to get the things that you want to achieve in life done. But he's going to talk more into that when we get there. What's going on, Marvin? And so we're going to get into this. I just got off the phone with them. He's finding a place to find some good light. But thank you guys for tuning in for another edition of Tuesday, Wednesday Live with your boy Darius. And yeah, so let's get into it. Let's see where he's at. I'm going to play with these. I just figured out how to do something really cool on here. Ooh, no, that's too like a little scary, you know what I mean? Too a little trippy. People, I love y'all. I love every single person that's watching right now. I love y'all. Yep. Wait. Oh, you guys love me back. That's what's up. Okay, let's go. Oh, I'm a dog now. Let's see what we gonna do today. All right, that boy Kerry on here somewhere. Alright. What's up? What's going on, Kerry? Should I do the interview like this, y'all? Should I do the interview like this? I think I should do the interview like this. So, what are you doing to stay motivated? Okay, I'm having way too fun with this. Way too fun. Oh, man. Oh, this one's cool. This one's a little artistic. I like that. We have to go for that for the call. Ooh. Oh, yeah. No, that's definitely rated R, scary movie. I ain't about that. Nah, can't do it. Okay, this is a little futuristic. I'm with it. All right, but we gonna get Kerry on here. I know I'm having way too much fun right here. Oh, this is a little. Why is there a little something on my eye right here? Oh wow, this is a lot. I don't know where you guys are at, but it's snowing over here. I think it's snowing. Is it? Oh, there it is. It is snowing. Yeah, Frozen. One of my favorite movies. No, it's not. Honestly, leave in the comments what is your favorite Disney movie. Go. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the hardest question I've ever been asked before, and I think I'm gonna have to go with Lion King. I'm gonna go with the foundation, with my roots. I don't know nothing about these new Frozen, Moana. I mean, Moana's a good movie though. I can get down with Moana. But yeah, Lion King or Mulan would probably have to be my favorites. Alrighty, let's see where Kerry is at. Darius start playing with the filters. We gonna get this thing started. Send this to Kerry. Wow. So Jamal, how's your day going? Oh, my guy. He is on here and ready to go. Let's do this.
Hey, what's going on?
Kerry, what's going on, man? How are you, man?
Doing pretty good.
Back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. I'm over here pressing buttons, but
How's it going?
but I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing good. Can't complain.
Can't complain. I love that. I love that.
Is it
Um, what's that?
What time is it over there?
In Seattle right now, it is
6:42.
6:42, my brother.
Yeah, I was
6:42.
here on the West Coast time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As you can see, we still got some sunlight, coming. The light is not on my room. Still sunny outside.
Yeah,
But hey, man, I appreciate you jumping on this call and doing this live. Um, I know as far as one big topic that we've been kind of going over, and when we started doing these interviews, is really talking about motivation, inspiration, how the quarantine has been affecting us, how we have overcome in any certain scenarios during this time, and then also some things that we're just doing to stay positive and such. And so we chose you to be someone that we wanted to interview because you have the daily motivations, the book that you wrote with the fundamental four, and just overall your motivational presence is definitely there for sure. So we just would love to talk to you and have you inspire the people. So first off, who are you? Where are you from? And kind of go over your overall experiences as far as like your book and some of the things that you're doing to motivate the people.
absolutely. Well, my name is Kerry Hartley. I'd like to call myself the millennial mogul in the making. I love to inspire people. If you know anything about me for long enough, you know that entrepreneurship has been something that I've just been so fascinated with since a younger age. It's something that I feel is my calling and my purpose to help inspire others. I'm also the CEO of Hartley.
Oh, oh, technical difficulties right here.
Are you?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You good there?
I, I'm also CEO of Hartley Capital. I'm also, as you guys will find out, that I'm very family oriented. So I got my dad that just called me, making sure that I'm okay. And if you have an iPhone, no matter if you got Do Not Disturb, if they're in your face, it's gonna come through regardless. Uh,
Yeah,
definitely, I am definitely finding my niche. I found my niche right now in the finance world, and I believe my true purpose of anything that I start is to diversify the financial world. I'm
wow.
also a Rattler, and I did not go to school for finance. I think if I went back, I probably would have, or done something in that realm. However, I believe that it's really good that I didn't, because I try to look at everything from the scope of all of the different information that I learned, all the different experiences, and then I try to diversify this world that's kind of, I like to say, one-sided to people that may have a preference to be in the finance world. And
Yeah,
entering it, I've realized that it's less of a learning curve and more of just an action behind why you're doing what you do. So, big part of that is also just the idea that I would love to help other people reach that next phase where I always thought there was a door, but it's not really a door. It's just once someone gets up there, as Nipsey Hussle says, you got to drop a rope and help bring somebody back up.
absolutely. I love that. I love that you said that. I know that was one point that we were making on our last call, that knowledge is so important, and not just the knowledge that you gain yourself, but the knowledge that you give. That is so very important. And speaking of knowledge and that you give, let's talk a little bit about the book that you wrote, the Fundamental Four. Talk to me about that.
Great, great. So I do have it here with you. I'm actually really excited. So it's the Fundamental Four. And this is probably the craziest thing I've ever done before in my life. I would say it's crazy because it just really challenged me. I love to share. I love to give information. Sometimes it can even be considered like a little bit overpowering people with a lot of the information that I have. So I
Yeah,
wrote a book to challenge myself, and I wanted to be an easy read, that fit basically where I am in my life. What is it that I've learned through school, through life experiences, through this is my third business I'm on, and each one of them have gained a lesson
yeah,
that I put like a stripe on my jacket. So I said, why wait till 10 years from now, where maybe I don't remember how fresh the information is right now, let me put out the first edition of my story. So that's definitely been a real big reason why I wrote the book. I even said, like, when I sat down and kind of got into the flow, I actually told myself I wanted to write it to be the perfect conversation that I feel like I never could have, because there's always so much more that I want to share with people. Those 4 fundamentals for me is focus, faculty, also finances and faith. And I think faculty is one that may raise an eyebrow for a lot of people. Faculty is just what you do. So whether you're an entrepreneur or entrepreneur, I like to call myself an entrepreneur because I like to start and be the catalyst. But there's tons of people that I'm actually always looking for internally as a business owner. You need people within an organization to spark motivation and inspiration for how you guys can grow and scale. So faculty is, and also it could just be about your passions. Like, what are you purpose? What is your purpose when you go out or when you make content? And then focus, of course, is just how do you stay on the path? And that's been a real big lesson for me post-graduation.
Wow. I love that. And I love that you said that you inputted faculty in there, because, you know, like, a lot of people don't think about that. And when you think of like daily motivationals, you don't really think about the people that are around you that will support you through that. And I think that is so important in any organization for you to grow, and almost like a tree where you start with your root foundation, your motivation and everything within. But as you grow out, not only do you provide, you know, fruit and knowledge from that you receive, but you also have the help of others that, you know, someone has to water that plant, you know, someone has to, you know, maybe trim the leaves back in some areas. Like, hey, you're getting a little outside of yourself on this area. So that's awesome that you input that in your book. And I think, honestly, you know, I'm gonna have to get the book.
And the real goal behind the book really is for me to spark conversation. I haven't really put out there as much as I wanted to, but my real mission that I have is called Rooting for Us All to Win campaign. So Rooting for Us All to Win campaign. And that's my campaign to say that we all can grow. Like, you may be starting or planting a seed there. Maybe we can water it now, but one day we may be planting a new seed, and you may be able to. So without kind of getting around it, my goal is to help 1,000 people make $200,000 a year, including myself. And it's very specific why I want people to make $200,000. Right now, the SEC, who regulates securities, so that's also publicly traded companies on the stock exchange, and also private, such as my firm that invests in what we're doing right now is putting together a fund to buy real estate apartment buildings. To really kind of get into it without giving it all away, but the SEC really kind of created this boundary for investors to be able to invest in, let's say, startups or maybe even investment funds like myself. You have to be an accredited investor. So it's very, I'm not a lawyer by any means, so I can't give legal advice, but from what investors.gov says, and also if you read up on some SEC documents, you have to make individually $200,000 a year. There's some requirements with the time, or you have to have worth of $1 million. That's minus all your liabilities, not including your personal home. So help 1,000 people get there, because that will, in theory, my goal is to help people get into these investment worlds and diversify. And that doesn't just mean color, gender, but also just having empathy. I think having people at the table that care about the end user is really, and that's my goal, to have more investors that have a say. So if we have, for instance, I'm in real estate, one big issue was gentrification. But that's kind of an area that's a little touch and go. But really, if you look at it, it's not always the idea of going into a neighborhood and fixing it up, because in theory, that's not bad. But it's about how do you allow the people there to still stay there. And there's with allowing people to stay there. But you have to have that in your heart going into the project to know, hey, we don't want to push people out. We want to make this community better. Hey, we are doing this as a business venture, so we want to make some money. But at the same time, how can we help the people there stay? Or how can we help the community grow without pushing everyone out? And that's the diversification that I'm hoping 1,000 people can help. So when they invest in a firm, or it could be real estate, or if you're on a startup and you're doing seed capital, not only can your portfolio grow and you're not just getting the second leftovers, but also you can have a say, because as a fund manager, I only do what my investors want me to do. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I have all the best ideas in the world. If my investors don't see the vision, they won't invest the money, and we really can't do much of anything outside of what we have on our own.
Absolutely. Wow, man, you just dropped so much knowledge right there. Thank you. That was wow. That is, and that's so awesome that you're paving the way for that. You really, it's really refreshing to see that. One, you did your homework, you know, and you made sure you did the research first before you kind of jumped into your ventures. Like you said before, you've owned a couple business, so you understand, you know, that is necessary for the success of it and for it to grow, but also your passion behind it. And I think that although passion will only get you so far by yourself, but I think that is definitely needed when you're in a somewhat of a startup phase, or you're in, you know, in that maybe some business call it the honeymoon phase, that you need that passion. And you need that passion and grind, because you're going to need that to, you know, work through the challenges and the things that you have. And so speaking of challenges, what challenges have you seen within, you know, the different ventures that you have, and then also just, you know, during quarantine that has affected you?
Absolutely. So I want to say the first challenge, I'm a little bit torn right now, but the first challenge that I actually feel like the biggest one has become for me is really getting out of my own way. I'll put that one first. I believe that I am very blessed to go out and research stuff that it just intrigues me. Like I don't even want to make it like about me, but I just like learning about things that I don't think is like really the mainstream. I still love a young adult, love looking at culture. Like I miss the NBA, I miss football, Last Dance, but at the same time, it intrigues me to learn about SEC documents or reading up about these business transactions, like Amazon looking to buy the AMC theaters. Like that's so cool to me. Kind of like my entertainment as well. But unfortunately, when you take on all of this knowledge, and my good father will tell me sometimes you just gotta listen. You gotta get out of your own way. Trying to really take on a company where it's building employees and really get to a point where we have I think this is, I mean, everybody says that, but I think this business to me is taking me to another level. It's not like I don't want to downgrade any other business that I've done, but it just, I see this being 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years with, like, I want a board of directors. I want to be able to have shareholders. So it's bigger than me. And that requires you to have people on you that know more than you. And I've recently been looking to have some onboarding for some 1099 contractors and start there. And people have higher degrees. They have so much experience, age, seniority on me. But the first thing I'll tell them is, look, I'm not the expert in XYZ. And that takes a lot of humility. And I think that's the biggest lesson I had to learn. I can know everything, but at the end of the day, you have to learn how to get out of your own way. Because if you keep getting in front of yourself, you'll build a wall and it'll be hard to break through. That's huge. And I think the second lesson with that is the second challenge that I've been having is honestly just, it's a new battle that I'm having, but I think it's the only battle you ever need to have. And it's me versus me. I think that's what I had to come down to. When times get tough, social media is a powerful tool, but it also can be very hard for you to stay on your own zone if you see so much going on, especially I keep it real. Like as soon as you get into entrepreneurship and you start following other pages, it's just all over the place. Like that's how the algorithm works. Whatever you look at on Instagram, whatever you look at on Facebook, YouTube, it'll keep showing you that because they want you. But sometimes that could like program into your mind a lot of the insecurities that you have that you aren't working on, but it's in your forefront. So let me say that again. Whatever you look at, it'll keep showing you it. So if you're looking at other people's businesses, hey, buy my course. Hey, look, I made this. Hey, look, I do that. if you're not there, it makes it very, very, very apparent if you have that insecurity, which I'll be honest, I have, because I want my business to grow. I want to help people.
Yeah.
I look at the metrics. Oh, where am I? Where am I? So I had to learn and get in the mirror and be like, yo, it's me versus me. And I'm very passionate and spiritual. So I said, look, if God's got me, I believe in the promises. So I know that's fine. Now, it's nobody else that's stopping me from getting there but me. So I'm not going to let you down, Carrie. If God ain't going to let you down, I'm not going to let you down. So get out there, push whatever the rep is for the day, whether it be reaching another person, whether it be finishing the product, or whether it just be researching, just do another rep. Because to me, I won't let you fail. If God, you won't fail on your own. So those have been the two biggest challenges overall as entrepreneurship. And it's taking some time, getting out your way and learning that it's not you versus anybody else. Like I think in other news with Amazon, they're always in the news. They're talking about Jeff Bezos being the first trillionaire by 2026. Okay, but that's good. That doesn't mean I'm any less of a person. That doesn't mean, hey, I could be just as better as that person. It's me versus me. How can I be better than the Carrie that was here yesterday? I got a new breath, make it happen. And during quarantine, I think the hardest challenge really, truth be told, as an entrepreneur, is just learning how to, I guess this kind of goes back to the business and where we are now.
Yeah.
I don't see Hartley Capital as a way for me to go to the bank, pull out my paycheck, if that makes sense. So I'm how to be an entrepreneur in the sense of, hey, how do I make my ends meet without just taking everything out of my business? Because once I start paying myself a salary out of Hartley Capital, that cripples my business. Or I could put that, whatever I feel comfortable making into investing in employees and allowing that to stay, or investing into infrastructure for the business. So I need to learn these little nuances and techniques that make sense. So, and I'll be honest, any authors out there, it's the difference between writing a book and selling a book. And there's a gap there. And I preferably have been falling in love with sales, especially social selling, like learning how to speak to people and sell. So it's been very interesting, but the challenge of writing a book is great. You can get it all printed out, all the nuances, but once you have it, especially right now in quarantine, learning how to get in front of people. So I've been challenging myself. I say 1,000 people a week, like talk to 1,000 people. Like one thing we miss out a lot on, Gary Vee is huge on, like your phone. Like I had 1,400 contacts last week, and going into last week, I hit every single person that I felt made sense, at least 1,100 up. Because if your contacts, one, you're already gonna have a sense of guilt going in, because you may not have spoken to a person in so long. So not only do you have to check up on them, and then you're gonna ask for something which you may or may not want to, but at the end of the day, people want you to also get to the point. So if you get on them, check on them, and ask 2 questions, then it's kind of like, okay, what are you doing? So you still have to ask, hey, know somebody that may be interested in my Fundamental 4 book, or hey, would you be interested in it? So that's also a challenge. Now, next month, say you get 10 people to buy a book, do you stop talking to them? Or do you go back and not make a book and say, hey, how are you doing this month? And those will be the people that will be remembered. And then for me, the algorithms with social media kind of confuse me. But for me, I love YouTube and I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really my most strongest profile. Really appreciate anybody that's got me on LinkedIn, but that's where I see people wanting to connect with me. And LinkedIn is so powerful that as long as you're a first connection, I can message as many people as I want in a day. So I have 100 connections on LinkedIn, and I hit everybody up in a week. And those, particularly in that space, it makes sense for what we're doing, as well as also those are professional connections that can help Hartley Capital. So within the week, like literally this week, I probably sent out 3,000 messages, and I'm on the path of doing follow-ups for 1,400 on LinkedIn right now. And that's just grind. That's the push-ups. That's the Kobe Bryant, and that's Michael after losing to the Magic, going back to the gym. That's what I feel like is the path for me to be better than what I was yesterday.
Wow, I wanted to jump in so many areas, but that is honestly, like that message as far as one, when you started with the comparative, like I see that a lot of people when they first do their startup, and I mean, when you're, even anytime you're starting something new, you want to learn from other people and see things from different business, perspectives. And so it's almost innate to want to see what's out in the market and to see, how, other people are, selling and things like that. And then you start getting into your head after, week 2, week 3 of like, oh gosh, their business is blowing up. Oh, my business is, and where do I sit in that? And so comparing always never leads into a good area ever at all. And so the fact that, you that's one of the struggles. I know that's one of the struggles for many people starting off and within their businesses. But
and let me just because I don't know if you get a mentor, it's gonna go till the 10th degree with comparison. Like I was introduced to this side of the real estate through a mentor. Love them to death. And one of the things I had to learn as a young adult is to want your mentor to grow. And that doesn't mean, thankfully I had a blessed mentor that wanted to see me also launch my firm, but that may not be everybody. Some people you may work with may want you to always be in your position. So you can't take it that you're less than them or even feel some type of way if they feel some type of way if you want to go launch your thing. And be okay with just knowing that what you got going on. If you're anything like me, you want to help people all the time. I don't try to bite my tongue to just save myself. So you have to also learn like, hey, this is what I told myself. I can never go into another person's kitchen and teach them how to cook. I can go start my own kitchen, find the recipe, and then offer them the recipe if they want it. But the moment you start walking in someone's kitchen and start trying to cook and tell them what to do, it's not going to work out the way you hope. So that's really big with comparisons with people that you actually go to teach you how to do what you want to do. Your mentor is going to probably be the first person that's going to strike. And that's with anything. If you feel jealousy, appreciate that. Like, see it for what it is. Like, I had to learn that relationships. If you're jealous of anything, acknowledge it. And like, once you speak it, you can take power over it. But once you let it seep down inside, that's when resentment and greed and other things. So you want to even speak to people, say, hey, like, it could be very like, hey, I'm a little jealous, but I definitely am appreciative. I think some people do this all the time, but know that that's not the worst of it. You're going to want to do things great if you're ambitious. So don't be bad. But the things you do with jealousy can turn into negativity. And that's really important.
Yeah. The response is always, I think that's like one of the things that has been the model for me throughout my whole entire life is, okay, this happened or this happened. Now, what is your response? And that is the pivotal point from someone that is great and is wanting to be successful, and others that are going to kind of fall by the wayside and either get too lazy or want to give up. It's those pivotal points where it's like, okay, hey, the shot clock is at what, we got 5 seconds left, and it's 75-73. You know what I mean? What you gonna do? What you gonna do with the rock? You know what I mean? And so really seeing it from that way is so important. I'm so glad that you brought that up. But man, one, I didn't know that you were doing so much, and I love that you said, as far as, you know, how much effort and hard work that you put in as far as reaching out to all those all the people that you have within your contacts and such, because when you're starting your own business, it's that point, that gut feeling that, are people going to take me serious? You know, are people going to take me serious? Is this something that, you know, I'm willing to put my all for? And because listen, I've been in situations in my life where, you know, you have that business venture, or you for me, it was acceptance into colleges, and you're putting out all these applications for colleges. You're telling all your friends, hey, I'm going to Miami University. I'm going to, you know, this university. And then you get the letter back, and then you're like, actually, you're not going to that university. You got rejected, you know? And so you really have to, when you're starting a business now, business is way bigger than that. you're starting a business, you are literally putting yourself on the line and saying, hey, I'm doing this, and I wanted to, you know, either get some tips or advice for you, or, you know, you're trying to foster that relationship to, hey, I have this book, would this be something that, you know what I'm saying? And so you have that moment where it's like, you know, that gut feeling of like, oh my gosh, are they gonna take me serious? Or, you know, am I doing this the right way? Because you feel like, you know, like you were saying, I haven't talked to this person in a really long time, and I'm kind of asking them for something. But you also, for you have to realize too, because that you're providing value to them.
Yes.
You have to, and when you come from that way, you won't have such a, I guess the negative stigma that, okay, asking them for something, or this book does cost money, but you got to realize that you are providing them value.
Yes.
We actually had a talk with Cole. He's an artist out in Cocoa Beach, and he was talking about, you know, and selling his pieces and such, and selling, you know, different pieces to friends. And you have to get to that point where, you know, saying like, hey, I understand that we're friends, you know, and normally, you know, I usually try to give a friendly discount for things, but now I'm at a point in my life where this is actually going to cost you money.
Absolutely.
And those people have to see the value that you see in your product. And to be honest with you, if you're as passionate as you are, and the research that you've done and everything that you did to put into the book, people should want to go and support you that way, regardless if you haven't talked to them in 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you know, you foster the relationship and such, I don't think, you know, you should have that.
Something that I learned in just sales is you want to get to know. And I think this is kind of helpful if you're not a salesy person. Because I wasn't. My dad would tell me, hey, you got to push, you got to push. But you want to get to know as fast as possible. Sometimes it's your best friend, because a lot of times we don't know how to buy. We're so used to people spending millions of dollars in these huge corporations, and they've mastered the art of making you say yes without even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Going into deep, like, you know, type of philosophy, my goal is to get a no. Because if you avoid me, you didn't say yes or no. So that's our post that said, the fortune is in the follow-up. So I might have sent 1,400 LinkedIn messages, whatever it was, but I hope this doesn't discourage people from talking to me. Hey, I had to follow up with maybe 600, and 3 people say, hey, you know, thank you for following up. And sometimes the follow-up doesn't have nothing to do with your product. Sometimes it's just letting them know that you're not and just blast it all out. Or even if you did, hey, I'm still talking to you. But that take it, for instance, I've been learning the art of selling cars a little bit too. And their goal, you learn a lot in the sales business. You want to get, because if you tell me no, I can find a solution. As long as you tell me no, because. So I can say, hey, like this copy of this book, and you're like, hey, I think it's cool, you know, it's really nice, and you tell me no, and I say, hey, why not? And you say, because I like to listen to books, and this is a hardcover. Now I could provide a solution. So I can say, okay, so if what I'm saying is, if what I'm hearing is correct, you will buy a copy of the book, but it has to be an Audible. And they'll say yes. So they've committed. Now if I provide that Audible, I now have made that connection, and now they'll also remember me even in the long term, because I didn't just take no for the first time. So very careful with just not feeling nervous about getting that no. Get that no and a why. And that's the most powerful thing you can do, because you can't sell to everybody. But you definitely provide the product to people that want it. And if you can solve the need, people will always remember that.
Absolutely. And that's I think, for, you know, that's why it's so important that, you know, most products, they have reviews. So it's the whole point of the reviews. The reviews is to know, okay, where are we failing? Because the truth is that this is a product for now, but how, like, people only gonna want it for a season. So we're gonna need to create something else. There's always, the human condition is that we always need more. There's always a need for more consumption. We always need more. And so if that's the case, then we need to make sure that, okay, well, okay, you don't want this book. Okay, great. Why is that? After you get that rebuttal, okay, well, this is, we have this solution for that. Or I don't have that solution yet. Thank you so much for telling me that. I really appreciate that. That's going to help me to be better. And you can even tell them out on the forefront, like, hey, I understand if you would not like this book, but to help me out and to grow, myself and my business, I would love to see how I can get better in this way. What would be enticing for you to want the book? Like, what would you need? Would you need, is it sometimes it's just who has the book in the hand? I saw one thing, which it's so crazy in sales how this actually works, but like just for example, Kim Kardashian's wearing these sunglasses, and she's like, she doesn't even say the name of the sunglasses, but because of the following that she has, she puts on there, oh, I got these from Gucci, and maybe puts like a tag on there, and millions of people go and buy that sunglasses, and she gets commission off of that. Yeah. So just in the understanding of like that art of like selling as far as building your following and such, that's just crazy. Because I mean, for some people, I don't even like glasses, but I want to go get the glasses now because this person got the glasses. That's like, it's crazy that the human in our human, innately, when we see someone that has some type of following wearing something, we immediately, because they're the quote unquote the influencers of whatever they do, or of and so if they're an influencer, they have that ability to make people buy, which is crazy. But I really think maybe that could possibly, I don't know if that's ever passed your mind as far as people
having a platform. Like, one of the challenges I'm having, I think that I speak to so many people within my small circle. That's why I was just raised to have a pretty small circle with people that you care about. But I have that I know and I care about also, but just the people on a day-to-day. But it's one of those things that if you don't have a platform, how do you stay successful? And it's not a platform. We just may not, the comparison, like, I don't know where Kim Kardashian is now on Instagram, but I'm quite sure there's a multiple of so many more followers that she'll touch or different things. So what you have to realize is like, and honestly, not to kind of put a damper on this, but during this pandemic, there are some people that are not here anymore. And you have to realize, like, our pastor before all of this, their whole theory is like we're really big on just talking to people when they come in the door. I do parking lot ministry, so we're like, our pastor always says, we're like the first face of even before the greeters, because when you're parking, we're the first representation of our church that a guest may have. So it matters. Every like hug, when we were doing hugs at church, when we were open. So now it's like every text matters, every call matters. And that's something that's really important with your platform. Either you have 2 million, like every person matters. But when you have such a small following, it's a lot easier for you to relate to people and just get hello. Like, trust me, like at some point, I was able to push out 1,400 messages, and even like, it's not just copy and paste all the time. Sometimes I know if I'm gonna reach out to you, Darius, I'm gonna know, like, you're a new father as well. You're growing in that world. I may put something personal there.
Yeah.
But about time, and this is just entrepreneur speaking, that's maybe another 30 seconds. And if you do that times a lot, that's a lot more time.
That's a lot more time, right?
So at some point, my first 100, my first 1,000 people are going to be the most core group of people, because they may know 10, and then those people may know 10. And then when you get to thousands, 100,000, I can't hit everybody up personally. Those people are going to be your core group of believers. So don't ever be discouraged about, hey, I don't have a lot. And it sucks sometimes. I learned, like, I had to change my whole Instagram. I had try to make the pretty grid, same picture. 10 years type stuff. Most people with followers, they have 300 posts, 3,000 posts on Instagram. And then I looked on LinkedIn, and sometimes your niche may not be IG. IG, for me, was a trophy case. It was, hey, look at my trophy. This is nice and fancy. Oh, I hit this point. I'm on this vacation. But I had to find other things. YouTube is so, I want to just give game because I really want to help others, like, have real things they can do. you mentioned reviews. If you want to start, it's so many times where sometimes I'm like, yo, I could just try this. And that's hard as an entrepreneur once you have something you're standing on and you want to grow. But if you don't know where to start with negative reviews. Just go on Amazon. Most of the stuff that I get is like really the social media stuff. I get it from Gary Vee because he's very consistent. He puts out a lot of free game. But I remember hearing this a while back, or he maybe even reposted it. But he said, like, if you go to like any place that you want to like really succeed, or if you want to use some of the bigger platforms, don't reinvent the wheel. Go to Amazon, find your niche, and then look at the negative reviews. And I honestly started doing that with the book. Rich Dad Poor Dad is a pretty popular book, but there's a lot of reviews, or not a lot, but enough for me to research in a week. Wow. 1,000 that I read and really study, and maybe piece together like the keywords. Hop on Google Trends or Google Keyword, take the link of Amazon, post it into the Google keyword search. It'll pull up maybe 300 to 2,000 keywords that you can use, and then now you can start trying to figure out the comments and see if there's a trend. And that sounds nerdy. Find out like if you want to write another book, what did people say was missing in Rich Dad Poor Dad? And now you just fulfill that need. And if you really get crafty, I mean, I hate to sound so bad, but a lot of prospecting is big, finding new people. And a lot of people want to, even if you're going to have the people that do reviews as a living, like for Amazon. Like, I don't know if they do it for a living, but it's a hustle. And they're making real positive reviews. They do hundreds of them. But then you'll have somebody who first name, last name, and most people are pretty consistent across different platforms. So maybe you could reach out to them and do a cold approach. And, not making it creepy, but hey, I saw your bad review with Rich Dad Poor Dad or Fundamental Forward. I just want to know, what do you feel like could have been more? And then you open that conversation. Because here's the key. We're on social media, but majority of the time we're not social. Like, what's crazy? This is like my first time going live with someone. A conversation between you and I, we can share with however many people we can get in this chat room. So we're not so social on social media, and one of the places you can start to become an entrepreneur is just by doing that, speaking to people. And YouTube is such a community. You can find one comment on YouTube can have thousands of thumbs ups. Just a comment in a video with already millions of views. So you could go in there and speak to people. And there's even I could share it with you. I found it earlier. You could find you could search comments on a video. You could put in a keyword and just see. And then from there, you can start talking to people and replying, because now you'll be actually spoke to somebody. Like the big star, like Kim Kardashian, may not talk to you, but if you go in the comments and do 1,000, 100 people in that chat box and answer people's questions, that's what I did in real estate. I knew it was really good at real estate, and I went into the comments and I just started answering the question that he would. And I was also learning, and I was getting game, even if it was just something simple like that I thought was easy. Someone else could be starting from ground zero, and that answer could help them be the catalyst to start. And now when we put something together, now they'll remember you. So don't ever sleep on small niche communities. My thing that I'm learning now is just trying to scale it, but I think that comes with having a team, people that just are better at it than me.
Yeah. Wow. That knowledge is wow. As far as that advice going into and looking at the negative comments, I would have never in a million years thought of that. That is so clutch. Oh my goodness, you dropping the jewels. If anyone in the audience right now taking notes, good on you. You definitely gonna be successful, because this man is definitely dropping some jewels. Well, I appreciate you coming on here. I'm sorry I had to walk away. My phone was about to die. But man, I appreciate you coming on here and dropping knowledge. Also, before we get off here, I know you also do some motivational Mondays, and then you do something called Bag Talk. Can you go into a little detail on Bag Talk? Because I was listening to one of those and listening to you play 2K and stuff like that, and that was a really fun live that you did, or video that you did.
So I really appreciate it, and that's actually new. That was me trying to be me. Like I'm actually one of the worst gamers, maybe one of the worst gamers. I think it's gonna be some people I can at least. But my idea was really just I want it to be a place where gaming is powerful. Like I think, again, I look at like IG. That's like the number one thing I want to blow on. But Twitch is such a community again where people love watching people game. There's like you get nephews, nieces, or little ones. All they have is an iPad. So if we can go into that space and speak about financial literacy, I'm not going to lie. It's hard for me to compete against somebody that wants to play a game that they love. People spend hours. When I used to play Halo growing up, hours of my life was on Halo. I learned some things on Halo that I probably shouldn't have learned. So why not go into that space? Yeah. I think it was loading. But I'm learning the streaming world. But I really wanted to also branch into like a conversation, especially right now with social distancing. I went on YouTube. Offset plays Call of Duty. Like he has streams up there for 3 hours, and people watch. So what would happen if we had those conversations? I'm doing it about entertainers because in our neighborhoods, I grew up, those are kind of like the highest statures of success. You know, outside of maybe people that run for office, like public office. But there's statistics out there that show like people in the NFL, NBA, they're already set up against the odds, because I won't get into the whole specifics, but the money that they make on TV, on paper, is taxed heavy. And then there's a job tax. And then you have an agent. And then you got mama, uncle. So then you have people that want to come. And then by the time the league is over, and if you don't have those times where, you know, you kind of plan to make money after the league, there's statistics that show you really go broke pretty fast. So my goal is hopefully not only to reach those, because they're already gaming. Like, what if I have a conversation with Offset that may spark the interest of another rapper coming up about how we can all come together? I do real estate, you do entertainment, maybe we can come together. Or I have conversations with everyday gamers and just talk about some different topics, and just go to where they are. I know if you came to me right now, I love business, but if you came to me and told me to do something I wasn't so interested in, I may not want to leave my house, leave my comfort zone to go there. So let me go to you and let me join the community and, you know, really bring some positivity there. Because Twitch is serious, man. Like, y'all look at the acquisitions. Amazon owns Twitch, and I think Microsoft owns Mixer. There's a reason why these companies are buying these other companies. Like, there's a reason behind these acquisitions, and Twitch is, like, in so many ways, building these communities that people are, like, blocking to and spending hours of time. So for us, we want to be on the platform, and we want to provide the same mission to motivate people. And then for Motivation Mondays, my goal is just honestly to strike somebody's interest. And like, for me, I've learned that it's really a place for me to go when I feel down. I've looked at a few of my videos, and I'm really speaking to myself. I'm trying to motivate people through just motivating me and just trying to relate to people what I feel. And when you get down, you need a reminder of what you believe. And I'm really big on putting it out there and holding yourself accountable to it. I want to be a man of my word. So I look at those videos, and when I'm feeling down, I feel like I want to shy away from the goal. I just remember what I told other people to do, and I wouldn't want other people to do something that I'm not doing. So that's really the goal behind it. And I think that's been really my most consistent video that I put out. So that's really pushed me to want to start a Bag Talk. It's like, hey, if you could do every Monday, put out a video, then I think Bag Talk is going to be once a week. So just really building more content and really having a good time and really starting to speak to people. And lastly, I do have a podcast. I've been learning, trying to figure out how to do interviews. So that's called the CEO Show.
Hey.
Cash flow, equality, and ownership. And that's really what I believe in. I want people to have more cash flow, which is just that residual income. Equality, again, it's not just about race, gender, sex. Sorry about that. But also just how you think and who you are as an individual.
Yeah.
And then we can't get into a world where you don't have any generational wealth. And that's for anybody, you know. Lord knows we don't want, I'm in real estate, and some people, all they have left after someone is gone is one property, and they fight over it. And we need more information to allow you to have this property be in your life forever and making you money.
Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, I love watching Bag Talk, and I love that your willingness to come to where the audience is, to come to them in their living rooms. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's a easy, you know, when you look at some of these people that are on the internet, and as far as different like websites, the only way they get into to your living room is through commercials. And the commercials,
yeah,
we get up, we go to the bathroom during the commercials. But I mean, we watch some of them,
yeah,
but you don't get to really, get the information to seep in. And
yeah.
I love that you come in and you go through Twitch and playing video games and meeting those people that, to be honest, when you look at the people that play video games, I mean, they're all ages of video games, but I feel like it's mostly the millennials. We out there playing and younger kids, and we're the ones that need that knowledge, that financial knowledge, that and all of that. And so that's awesome that you're able to use that platform to spread, that knowledge and wisdom, while maybe them whooping you on 2K, which is,
I'm gonna get back. And it's just a real cool opportunity, and I can't wait to have like a guest. So if you're interested in being a guest, and I could figure out this whole OBS streaming and make it real cool, why not? Let's just have a talk. And it's real challenging trying to talk and play at the same time.
and play at the same time, yeah.
It's too fast paced. 2K,
Oh yeah.
dribble out the time, get my comment in, and then go run a.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, man, Kerry, I really appreciate you coming on here and dropping the knowledge. I feel like I have definitely had some value added to my life. I know the viewers, definitely you guys are probably feeling the same way. Go out and get this man's book. It is, just from talking with him, you can see as far as his wealth of knowledge and his, insight on business process and things like that. And who knows what's all in the book. How many pages is it?
I'll get the real page number right here. It's 115 pages.
115 pages.
Page is one page, so.
Wow, that's 115 pages of wealth right there. And so for the people that are not like myself, like it takes me long time to read, chapter books sometimes, whatever the pace. I think, just with, your overall motivation to have more knowledge, I think you should definitely get this book. So check it out. Also go to Kerry Hartley's page. We're going to put that in we have that in the tag on the story, but go check out his page, go check out his podcast and the things that he has, and just, support, an amazing person and a person that's really looking to inspire the younger generation and to make an impact, a positive impact in this world. So thank you so much, Kerry. Is there any lasting things that you want to say to the people?
So Fundamental 4 is available at fundamental4.com. We're also on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And we have the ebook as well. If you are having trouble getting this book, let me know. I will personally find a way to get you the book. I don't want that to be the biggest thing. Again, I am an author. I am selling a book, but there's a bigger vision behind it all. Lastly, I can't be here without God. So I want to thank everybody that's ever invested any time for me to go to those basketball events. That they come, it's teen night, we get to play, eat free pizza, but we actually got the word. So I'm really appreciative for you guys pouring that into me. Honestly, about 5 to 6 pages of the book is an acknowledgement, thanking people for where I am, and there's going to be more. So lastly, what I want to say is, whatever you do in this time, stay positive. Every person matters. I have a friend that's not here no more. I have someone that I went to church that is not here anymore. And I don't care if it was one or many. Everyone matters in the perspective that I need to know that you're okay. So reach out to somebody, stay positive, and give them some love. It don't cost nothing. And even if people are like, hey, I'm fine, it's cool, just to let them know that you were there, it can mean the world to some people. So definitely stay encouraged and don't quit. And I love y'all, and I look forward to staying in touch with you. And I'm very approachable. So whatever you want, message me, call me, whatever. We can do it together.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kerry. It's a pleasure again, brother. I know I'll be getting the book and definitely picking your brain a little bit more on, finance and some things that you covered on the call. But thank you so much, man, and have a great rest of your night, bro.
Y'all stay blessed. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, man.
You too.
Sir. Wow. So that was Carrie Hartley, y'all. Man, that was amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed the call, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have an awesome weekend. Go do something great. Go be great. Go buy the book. And yeah, have an awesome night. Peace out, y'all.